So I was not a serial dater. And then I moved to Philly about 6 years ago and I went right onto like Hinge.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like from the get-go a difficult start because it's just like you never know who to trust.
Yeah.
So I went on a date with this guy and we like walked around Chinatown and we made this whole plan. Like it was supposed to rain. He was like, if it rains, do you want to come back to my house for a movie? And I was like, sure. It was literally my first ever Hinge date.
How
like,
old were you?
Oh my gosh. I think it was like 23, maybe.
Okay.
22, 23. Like,
young.
And I just like I don't know. I was so naive of like, oh, going back to someone's house and everyone's like, yeah, he wants to like have sex. And I was just like, I didn't even think about it. I was like, he wants to watch a movie. Like, how fun. So we walked around and we get to his house and he's like, hey, I'm really particular about like people taking their shoes off. Like, I need you to take your shoes off. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Like, I'm a shoes off household.
Yeah.
Are you a shoes off household?
I feel like we're not, like, I do take my shoes off, but it's not like a rule.
Oh, my parents are very like shoes off at the door.
Really?
Yeah. So I like didn't think too much of it. That's my thing. Like, cleanliness.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we sit down. I'm on one end of the couch. He's on the other end of the couch. The date went really well. We had a lot of things in common. And he's like, hey, pick a movie. So I'm like sitting there and I'm like, I don't really want to like kiss this guy. Like, I don't want to make like a romantic movie. So I'm sitting there and I'm scrolling and I'm like, the perfect movie is Shrek. Like, I haven't seen it in a while. It's a fairy tale. And people are always like, Kelly, that is romantic. Like, it's a romantic story.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is. Like, it's about an ogre.
I mean, I wouldn't call it romantic. It's definitely a comedy and it's animated.
Thank you.
It's about an ogre.
Literally. We're sitting on the couch and he's like, hey, do you like want me to give you a foot massage? And we had been walking around for a few hours. So I was like, absolutely. Go ahead. Give me a foot massage. So he's like giving me a foot massage and I'm super into Shrek watching it. And all of a sudden I kind of like realized that he took my socks off and I was like, okay, whatever. Like, he's just trying to get like deep tissue. I don't know, shiatsu, like up in my feet massage. And so again, like, I am not paying attention to the foot massage. I'm a queen. I deserve a foot massage, obviously.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden I'm like, this does not feel like a foot massage anymore. And I look down and we are sitting the way me and Kelly are sitting, like far away from one another. And I look down and he literally has my front two toes in his mouth, sucking on my toes.
Bad.
On the date, and I literally kicked him away with my other foot and was like, get off of me right now, I need to go. Hustled to put my socks back on since they had been taken off.
Wait, what did he
and literally
say?
Ran out.
Like, when you like ripped your foot away and kicked him, what was his reaction?
He like literally did not think that anything was wrong.
What?
Like, he looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he did not ask for consent.
No.
He asked for nothing.
Oh my God.
It was crazy. Then the next day he texted me and he was like, hey, I had such a great time. After I literally ran out of his home.
Yeah, how far away did he live from you? Like, did you have to go outside and then
I
call
had
an
to go
Uber,
outside and call an Uber in the rain.
Oh my gosh.
It was raining. That's why we had gone to his apartment in the first
Did
place.
you put your shoes and socks back on before going outside?
Yes,
or were they
absolutely.
like in your hand?
No,
Okay.
I put my socks on, hustled.
Did he say anything? Or was he just staring at you in silence?
He was kind of staring at me in silence. I was like, I just really have to go, and like left. And he texted me the next day and was like,
did
hey,
he
I had
stand
such
up
a great
off the
time.
couch?
I don't even like when I tell you it was a blur.
Yeah.
It was a blur because also I would look at him and imagine my toes in his mouth.
Okay.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
So then almost a year later to the day, he texted me.
Wait, sorry. He texted you the next day. I think I cut
He
you off.
texted me the next day and he said, hey, I had such a great time. Hope to see you again. And I never answered.
Okay.
I deleted his contact info, whatever. Yeah. A year later to the day, almost, he texted me and he was like, hey, I was thinking about you the other day. Like, hope everything's going well, whatever. I think it was like around the holidays. So he like had something about that. And I didn't know who it was at first. And then I kind of like put two and two together and realized who it was. And I was like, that's just so bizarre. Like, who does that?
That is weird that he texted you.
So weird. The next day, after he sent me that initial text a year later, he sends me, hey, I actually have some information for you. I started a new business and it's for people who want to sell feet pics.
I forgot about this part.
And he goes, I thought of you.
No!
The way I scrumped, I screamed, and I scrumped. I could not believe it. And then underneath, okay, so he sends me this, and Jimmy, I'm living with Jimmy at the time, and he's like, you have to text back. Like, you have to just like see what he has to say. And this was before COVID. I should have jumped at the opportunity, y'all. Like, I'm
Honestly,
upset about it.
true.
I'm a little upset about it, but whatever.
Still find his number.
So then Jimmy was like, ask him what the deets are. So I ask him and I'm like, hey, like, so like, what are the opportunities that you're talking about? And he literally texted me back with like an entire business plan and different options that I could sign up under.
That's amazing.
So it was like Big Feet Girls. And then it literally had like 3 girls' names listed next to it. Then it had like Southern Comfort Feet. It was like all of these like categories of like women and their feet and like this whole thing.
Okay, I'm not even gonna hate on the business plan.
No.
That's amazing. It's feeling like he was going on dates to find potential clients, or not clients, but like people to work on his site.
I mean, because he literally, so like in the text, he's like, I just decided to change avenues. So like, I think maybe he was reaching out to like all of the girls that he had potentially done this with and seen their feet.
That's
like,
insane.
This was my first ever Hinge date. Like,
it's so fucking funny. It's like so weird too, because like inherently sucking on toes, you know, like it's not my thing, but it's somebody's thing, and that's fine. The fact that he didn't ask you nor prepare you or like say anything leading up to it other than can I give you a massage? And it's like, oh, is that what you think a massage is?
The audacity. Like, I still to this day like cannot believe that.
No, that's insane. That is so funny. And then the fact that he's trying to sell you on his site. So once he sent the proposal, did you answer?
I don't remember. I think I was just like, I'm sorry, I'm like not interested, but good luck.
That's
like,
a good response.
At the time.
Yeah.
And I think during COVID, everyone was like, you should have jumped at it. You should have jumped at it. Which I was like, true. That could be my second biz.
True. If you have his number, pass it along. I'm gonna see what's up.
Listen, this is his like shout out. Go find him.
So funny. Okay, you had another story too.
I did have another one. This other one definitely. So this was. Do you have one? Do you have any dating stories?
I have not really. I want you to tell this one first, and then I'll tell my weird story.
Okay. So this one. So this was like peak COVID. I had been going out on, I guess, some dates at that point. So, like, I wasn't, I think, nervous. But this was, like, right after I had come home from being at my parents' house for, like, a month. And I was like, I have to get out of the house. Like, I just have to get out. And I think all of us had, like, all of my roommates had decided, like, it's fine. We're all just going to go out on dates. Like, we need to get out of the house. So there was this guy, I think we were texting for maybe 12 hours. And he was like, do you want to go out? And I was like, sure. So we planned a date that I had really wanted to go on. Okay. This was a date that I had been brainstorming, thinking about for so long, which is, and I think it's a great idea. Tell me if you think if I'm wrong. It was a cheesesteak date where you go to a bunch of the places in Philly that are famous for their cheesesteaks and you try them and then you rate them.
Oh, that's a great idea.
A great idea, right?
I'm vegetarian, so I wouldn't do the cheesesteak one, but I do that with other things, I feel like.
Yeah.
I did that with a guy once, kind of not in Philly, but with shamrock shakes.
Oh.
Like we went to multiple places and got the shamrock shake from McDonald's.
Okay.
They had one at Arby's. They had like an Andy's shake somewhere.
Cute.
I forgot. We got a few. And then I took like 2 sips of it and I'm like, oh, I'm going to throw up. Could not finish.
You're like not a fan.
But I love that idea. That's so fun.
Thank you. So I had been super excited about this idea for a long time and this guy was down to clown. So we went and we tried a bunch of different places. I think I paid for like most places, which should have also been like, we borrowed he was like, I'm borrowing my dad's car. Like from the first 15 minutes of this date, I was like, this is not going past.
But I don't know, like date. In a city, like does he live in Center City?
It wasn't even that. It was that like it was the first 15 minutes of like he just wasn't like he didn't seem like he was very stable.
Okay.
There was like and not stable in terms of like mentally not stable. I mean stable as in like he didn't have like a proper job in terms of like what he was doing at the time. He like had his mind was going a bunch of different places. It was a lot of different like entrepreneurial things. Like I'm gonna start this up, but it seemed like a lot of ideas.
Everything except the feet pic site.
Exactly. I love an entrepreneur. Apparently. So we went out and we did this and it was great. We went around to all the cheesesteak places and then we went and we sat behind the art museum. We were like sitting, looking around Boathouse Row, whatever.
This is my literal favorite story.
And so we're sitting there and like the conversation is kind of going. We're hanging out and he like leans in for a kiss and like we just like do a little peck and then we come apart from it and he just literally goes like this boop boop on my boobs. And, and I said, please take me home. I would like to leave.
He literally just put each hand, if you're audio only,
boop, boop.
Each hand, palm up, on Callie's boobs and went boop boop and touched both of them.
Just a little underhand.
One in a row.
And I said, please take me home. Thank you so
That
much.
is so insane.
Like, again, no warning, no consent, just a bizarre interaction.
In what world is that like okay? And I remember when you first told us at the table when we were with everyone, I'm like, okay, I could see it, and I feel like other people agreed with this. I could see it if it was like your boyfriend.
Yes.
And it was like something funny where you're like, oh, that was like a stupid joke.
Yes.
With a stranger?
A literal stranger.
That's so fucking bizarre.
Yes.
Boop boop. Guys.
It was like after both of those interactions, I like put it into a group chat with my friends, and then I also had a bunch of friends who like I worked with over the summers, and they had known about the first story. So I literally recorded a voice audio, and I was like, "You're never gonna believe what happened," and everyone was like, "You have the worst luck."
Yeah.
The worst luck.
Yeah.
But
that's amazing.
Makes for a great story.
Yes.
Both of the guys were honestly so nice. That was
good.
a part of it. They were like beyond what had happened. They were very nice, easy to talk to people. So like I hope that they did not do that to other women. Silly things. If you can take it as a joke, take it as a joke.
That's like one of those things where if they texted you the next day and they were like, hey, would you want a second date or whatever, and you said no, and if they asked why, would you tell them the reason?
Oh my gosh.
Because I feel like you could and you should.
I know at that time in my life, I don't know if I would have had like the confidence to do it. Like, I think that I would have kind of been like, like, no, it just like, you're just not my guy. Like, you're just like not really my type. Now at this point in my life, I think I definitely would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think now I would have been like, that just like is not something that you do to someone that you just meet.
Right.
Like, it's just not.
Without any warning.
Yes.
Especially.
Yes. Especially, I think I would have like ripped the fuck guy a new one at this point.
Oh, the thing is, I'd be scared of people in person, but then also if you were with them for like hours and you were getting to know them and you knew that they weren't gonna kill you, I don't know, but I guess
True.
Do you ever really know that someone's gonna
I know. I realized how like unsafe I was when I first started dating in the city.
Yeah.
Like going back to people's houses that I did not know. Like
it's so scary.
And you just don't even think about it.
I know.
And like
so
I'm glad that
scary.
my experiences have never been like scary or violent or like things that I can now laugh about did not like impact my relationships with others.
Right.
But like I realized how unsafe I was.
I know it is. I know. I was reading some of the stories that I'm going to read later, but so many people were like, I was with a guy and he picked me up. I'm like, so you gave him your address and then you got in a car with him and then you let him control you. Or not control you, but like control your life. Like you're in a car.
Which,
that's so scary.
On that last date, when we were sitting behind the art museum, Jimmy had my location and he knew I was out on a date, and we get crazy about like find my friends when people are out on dates. I'm always like, I need to know. I want to know where people are going because like it freaks me out. So he was tracking tracking me and it looked like I was in the Schuylkill River. And he was like, I thought you had been like thrown in the Schuylkill River.
Oh my God.
He was like, you were sitting there. They were texting me in like our group chat and they were like, are you okay? And I'm horrible with my phone. So like.
That's so scary.
It was not.
It's
not
funny
good.
now, looking back on it.
Looking back, it was all okay.